Good morning, Capricorn. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. Capricorn, it's been a little bit since I've been able to get a reading out to you, and I apologize for that. As I said in the other readings, illness hit me at the beginning of the month, and it just kind of put me on my butt for a while. But we're better. Videos are starting to come out more frequently again, right? Getting back on track. So Capricorn, this is going to be your reading for, we'll call it mid-April at this point, right? Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus cross watcher. If that is you, welcome to the channel as well. Discern the messages accordingly. A big thank you to everybody who has liked, shared, commented, and subscribed to the channel. And for those of you who have booked personal readings with me, I greatly appreciate it. So Capricorn, let's just jump right on into it, see what's going on for you all in your energy. I'm going to tell you, like, we'll see what the cards say, but energetically, like, it doesn't feel funky. It doesn't feel too weird. So that's a positive sign for me as a reader for you guys. Nothing too crazy seems to be going on. Now, these readings I've been trying to keep between a 20-25 minute mark. So, all right, courage and ingenuity. Listen, if you're working on creative endeavors right now, your mental process, as much as we are in Aries season though, could very well be, you're taking on new projects, you're taking on new things, new capabilities. I do believe with confidence or courage, but they're saying confidence, it's building, and, you know, and to build that that confidence, it does take courage to do that, you know. And I do feel like, Capricorn, you could be starting to implement some new ways for yourself. You know, it's like getting out of that stuck and stagnant energy and starting to integrate, Spirit just said that you guys have dealt with redundancy for a very long time and just kind of doing the same thing, you know, and they're using the word innovative, which I think is a really cool word. I like that word for you all, because, you know, if you get into a pattern and a routine, it kind of reminds me more of business than anything else. Like, you know, you could look at things like CDs were the thing for the longest time, right? And then we had, you know, cassettes before that. Like, we have got to innovate our lives. You know, that's the changing times, right? The way things move and happen. So it could be more so of an innovation. You know, it doesn't have to be business, but it could be around anything in your life. And you could be innovating and doing something different. And it's a little bit, kind of feels like a little bit of expansion too, but not, it's almost like you're putting your feelers out there. Feeling it out, seeing if that works for you, playing with the energy. Does this work? How does this make me feel? But it's a very fun energy. I feel like you're in, Capricorn, that is kind of, you're testing some new waters. And I think that's a great thing with spring here. I'm not surprised to see that kind of energy. And we're, you know, tomorrow we move into Taurus. This is coming, Spirit is saying, after a period of distraction. So I think I'm shedding. Good hair. This could come after a period of distraction where you kind of felt mentally chaotic, is what I'm going to call it. Vows 15, that is the devil card essentially in the tarot deck. But this card is vows, and Ursa Major. You kind of felt like for a while you were kind of crying for some kind of help or assistance when it comes to something. But things are pushing forward. They are moving. Things are becoming lighter. They're becoming more clear to you. You know, it's like, Spirit's bringing up Rainbow Bright. Why? I don't know. Do you notice that as I say this, using the CDs and the cassettes as an example, Rainbow Bright, this is like going back, right, 80s, 90s kind of vibe. It's interesting. I'll say, Capricorn, lately, and ingenuity again pops out. The last 2 days, I've been listening to like 80s music, which is, I don't know, I listen to everything, but I think that it's funny that it's coming out that way, but they're talking about Rainbow Bright. So I don't know, maybe some of you are dealing with some kind of nostalgic things in time. Maybe, you know, if you've got kids, you can see things coming back around, right, that, you know, you played with when you were a kid. But to me too, it's also about that creative expression. The way I see it for you guys too is that, I don't know, it's a fun, playful energy. You could be creating a lot of different things right now. They seem bright. Whatever you're working on seems bright to you, maybe bright to others. You could be highlighting or lightening up other people's lives at this time. Change, look at that. Capricorn, if you have felt in the past 6 months that things have been difficult, transitions, friendships, partnerships, relationships, school, for some of you, if you're in school, they just felt heavy. And when I say heavy, it's just like this period of darkness, this period of stagnancy that didn't really allow you to, Spirit is saying, evolve. And now, it could just be the weather change as well, where you're starting to feel like a little more, depending on what side of the world or, what area you're in, with the changes, it feels like there's a renewed hope, a renewed sense of faith, a renewed sense of creativity that's coming in with this for you. I do feel like some of you could be dealing with distractions right now at home. If you've got kids, you could feel like, it doesn't have to be kids. It can be, they're saying like remodel, construction, anything pertaining to hearth and home. So anything that is, requirement of your foundations, they could, it's maybe a little bit of a struggle to balance things for some of you, not all of you, though. I feel like when you're at work, that's when everybody from home is calling. Anything family related is calling. It's like, I work 9 to 5 or 7 to 3 or whatever, whatever you're working, or, if you're working the night shift and they're calling you all day long and it's like, I'm sleeping, let me be. So you could kind of feel a little pulled, but I also feel like your boundaries in that are, I won't say stellar, because I kind of feel like Capricorn are using a few excuses as to why you need to answer certain people. It's okay if you put them on hold for 5 minutes. Okay, so just a reminder of self-care, patience, perceptions, and fickle. I'm going to put these back in because there was too many of those, but don't allow distractions to happen, because I do fire, spontaneity. Look at you. Good stuff here, Capricorn. Ogum nature. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Scorpio yesterday. Get outside. Ground your energy. We're moving into Taurus season. It's all about slow-paced, creating those foundations, practicality. They're showing me the Page of Pentacles too. So I'm going to say maturity, maturing into something. Somewhere, and I find this ironically beautiful, you've got that Capricorn card. I use these cards for you guys whenever I do the signs. And look at that fire. Do you see that glow? It's a glow up for you, Capricorn. I love this. Some of you could be having fire rituals. You could be doing fire magic. The flames. There's something about the idea that when you're sitting around a fire, sitting around flames, there's a stillness and a silence in that's coming in. So make sure that you're taking that time to be still or sit in silence or whatever. But I feel like it's very much needed. This energy that comes in with that fire and sitting there, it feels very like you are, I'm gonna call it in solitude. It's in solitude that you're doing this, and it's almost like a double barrier of protection for you too when it comes to certain people. So if you've had people that you've cut off, or just you've had to disconnect from for your own mental health, we'll call it, pay attention to, it's very interesting. It's almost like this is what I'm going to say. It feels like you have blanked out that space. If you've disconnected from things or people, you have blanked out that space. So this fire is kind of cleansing for you. On the other side of this, I don't see it in the cards, but I feel it underneath the surface, we'll call it, where you've had to put up these barriers against certain people or situations, things. They're really on the outside looking in, but they can't see. I don't get too much into the spell work and all that kind of thing. That's not quite my cup of tea, but to each their own. But I will say this is interesting that this is coming in. They have, as I say, they're looking in. You look at this card. I just happened to see this. I mean, granted, it's the fire, but you see that they're like eyeballs. They're like eyeballs coming through that brick wall back there. they can't see into your life the way they once did. And that's okay. That's good for you, right? They don't need to know. But their energy is still lingering in the shadows. And so whatever that means for you, I'm not real sure. There's a lot of energy around wood, trees, whatever, but chopped up. One thing that Spirit is saying, and I have no idea, this is for somebody, disregarded territory. What that means, I'm not real sure, but that's something that's coming in. But you're getting down to the bare aspects of the growth. It's like if you've peeled back a layer of self-growth here, Capricorn, that's where you learned that those particular people or situations needed to have barriers. You needed to have greater barriers, protection around you. This person, this situation, they feel to me as if they're definitely more removed, but they're still looking. They're still trying to get in, but it's like if they were really close to you at some point, they're not... They haven't completely disconnected. It isn't like they've gotten bored and went off to find the next thing or situation or person to do this with. You're still in their focus somehow. It could be a little bit of woe is me kind of thing. Just be mindful. I'm going to say that. Just be mindful of that energy. All right, let's see here. For Capricorn. Knight of Pentacles, Five of Wands. Someone, Capricorn, Queen of Swords. Whatever turmoil was going on, there could have been bickering, fighting, arguments, competition. I honestly don't feel... We'll go two sides. I'll give it this. You have taken what was meant for you out of that situation and you have moved on and moved forward. Knight of Pentacles, moving away from those battles. And it's almost like you're presenting yourself with an opportunity rather than somebody coming in with, as a Knight of Pentacles, offering you something. I feel like this is an offer that you've made to yourself because you've gotten clarity around a situation, starting anew. Now, I will also say this could, again, as I talked about the distractions and things like that and what the last maybe 6 months have held for you. And remember, we are moving into the Scorpio full moon, so emotions can be heightened at this time as we move into that. I think that's the what is that, the 22nd, 23rd? I can't remember the date. I think it's Monday. But this is you giving yourself some grace for a change, where you're walking away from any internal struggle as well, because you've gotten some kind of clarity around a particular situation. And it could have been via some kind of words or communication. There's that when it happened, I feel like typically Capricorn, you would have kind of gone in and kind of internalized that energy for some reason. We'll call it the eclipse. We'll call it Mercury retrograde. We'll call it whatever. Instead of internalizing it this time, it's like you took it to heart, took it to the head, and was like, okay, what do I do with this? Because I'm not going to let this person, this situation, water me down. I'm done fighting with whatever this is. So it's like you making that change. The Death card, transformation. I'm telling you guys, like you're expanding. The Knight of Cups. I feel like there's a lot of cautionary energy with you, Capricorn, as you move forward, though, with this transformation and transition. Because it's like, if you've been burnt in the past, fire energy, which who has not, right? How is it that you're going to be able, and I said this to Scorpio yesterday, trust, right? Once we've been burnt, we get that level of, how do we trust that the next situation, the next person, the next soul tribe, or I don't say the next soul tribe, but finding your soul family is going to be trustworthy because you've been jaded by the situations in the past. Eight of Pentacles, there's a lot around this working energy right now. Mastering your skill set. And I think where a lot of this comes from, Capricorn, is realizing the work that you've done on yourself, the depths of where you've sat versus the reality of where you now are, and the growth that has happened as a result of that. So in that energy, it's like you don't want something else to come in and upheaval what you've created for yourself and what you've been able to master, over time. This Death card, what is this about, Spirit? The Queen of Wands, more fire energy. Like you guys are in the King of Swords, Emperor. You could be dealing with two outside masculine energies, that Emperor and that King of Swords to me with the Justice card, is like, you gotta, holy smokes, Capricorn, you've got a shit ton of people around you. You've got two divine feminine energies here. You've got Justice, you've got the Emperor, and you've got the King of Swords. So you've got two masculine energies around you. Full new journey. I'm going to say to you, and then behind that, my God, the people, I usually don't see it like this. Behind that, you've got the Empress and you've got the King of Pentacles. Capricorn, I'm going to say to you, if you are in business, you are building a hell of a fucking team to see you through moving on in the future. This is members, Spirit is saying members of the community. This is members of, it's like almost like a board of 5, whatever that means for you. There's a board of 5 or 5 people, one of those being you, that are coming in to make these drastic changes. And I will say to you all too, like it doesn't have to be business, but for some of you, this is definitely business related or work related. But there are like, it is a massive coming together that you are finding that through this work, through whatever it is that you're doing, wherever your creative ambitions are taking you, wherever you're asserting yourself, like luck is on your side. And you've got these two divine feminines who are going to have your back. The logical aspects of this with that Queen of Swords who can see through any bullshit, right? She's like, I'm going to call her a director. She gives guidance, she gives knowledge, she gives wisdom. That Queen of Pentacles, your energy, you could say, but I really feel like the more so you're sitting in this Queen of Wands because you're gathering this ambition. You could be incorporating this Queen of Pentacles within your energy. I will say for some of you, you are that. It's almost like you're playing dual roles in something here with that vows, a commitment to the self and everything that you've accomplished, stabilized, matured, grew from the ground up. With that Queen of Pentacles, you could also have some kind of financial advisor who is very nurturing, very caring about how it happens, where to put those investments at. That Justice card, this is balancing the masculine and the feminine traits in this as well, because on the other side of that, we've got the Emperor and the King of Swords. This Queen of Swords, King of Swords, and it's multiple energies that I'm getting here. So some of you could be a board of 5 or a group of 5. With that too, there could be a couple, Capricorn, who comes in, and what I find I got the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. You could call these power couples, power dynamics that are coming in the most loving and supportive way that could be offering you great new opportunity and abundance. This is, I don't think I've ever got a reading like this doing this via YouTube ever. But the energy, like I'm seeing all of these, and I don't read my cards in reversal. They all come out in the upright. I read the energy, and the energy here is you've got so many key players around you. I do think that one of these people will fall off because of other obligations and they can't quite keep their shit straight. But everybody else here is on board. Whatever that means to you, whatever area of life, they're on board. Now, with every good thing comes the equal and its complete opposite, right? I will say to you, you've got other people around you who are watching this growth that is happening for you. They may not be too happy. I will tell you, I think it was Leo, Taurus, Scorpio. Not everybody is going to celebrate your success. And you can't let those naysayers get in your way. Okay? Very, very important energy there. And I'm going to put these back because that was a lot. That's beautiful, though. I love this for you. All right. Whatever you're working on now by September, so what is that, 6 months? May, June, July, August, September. 5 months out. So 5-6 months out. 5 also. 5 is, I've said 5 quite a bit, haven't I? That's going to be real important. You're going to see those culminations of everything that you're putting in right now come to harvest. Three of Swords in the future energy. Capricorn, I do think, and the Devil, there you are. I do think that there are parts of the emotions that are coming to the surface with the Moon, Two of Pentacles. You could be doing some inner childhood healing here, Capricorn, and it's like you may be holding on to that pain around certain situations tied to family. Some of you could be cutting family out. Some of you could be breaking ties with family members, completely walking away. But something does get brought back up, and even though we're almost out of Mercury retrograde, thank the heavens, that's something that's still lingering for you a little bit. It's like, how do you handle that? How do you not obsess? How do you not think? How do you not feel confined by ties that, you know, in our world, our conditioned world, should never be broken? You know, and as this new family of soul tribe comes in for you, you know, and even if they're just old friends and things like that, that there's been some heartache and pain around, it's hard to, at one point when people were very pivotal in our lives, they become a part of our daily routine, to truly disconnect from them and not, you know, imagine our world without them. But it's like, you know, I feel like other people have gone their certain ways. King of Pentacles, you could be dealing with a Taurus, but I feel like this is more Taurus season related, and we step into that tomorrow, where you're hanging on to that stuff. You're hanging on to the losses rather than realizing how much more free you become by letting this go. Okay, so just, that's something you're going to have to work through, Capricorn. The Chariot. And I think that in due time, it might be a period of 2 months, and there's that damn Knight of Swords again. It's those people that are your naysayers could very well be family members. They could be friends. They could be some of the people close to you. I mean, and you think from it as this perspective. We don't feel pain without love. And sometimes that love is the thing that gets broken or abused or neglected. And that's where that pain stems from. Without love, we couldn't have it. Without pain, we don't have love. Without love, we don't have pain. And that's where it comes from. I will say this to you, though, Capricorn. These people that you may be dealing with this struggle with their own, I'm going to call it an identity crisis per spirit. And their identity crisis is not your crisis. Okay? I do really feel like you're going to move on past this. But I also feel like it's coming up. You know, I talked about that childhood stuff, right? That younger stuff, that going back in times. You know, so if you were born in those time frames, this reading very well could be for you. But someone here is just raising the white flag and going, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to live in this energy. I'm not going to stay in this energy. It's like you come out of it, you go back into it. I don't feel like it's as heavy this time, but it's also learning how to let that go and move on, even when you may feel like things are unresolved. And for them, they just may not care. But also expect them to have an opinion on what you're doing, because they will. It's the inevitable. They're going to have something to say, and what they've got to say and what their opinion is none of your business. Okay? It doesn't even matter. It's irrelevant. Unless they're paying your bills and taking care of everything, it's none of your business. So, all right. Advice. Oh, no, there's this. Okay, we're going to take this deck. All right. Advice for Capricorn for the rest of April. Advice for Capricorn. Choice. You had to make a choice to walk away from this conflict, this controversy, the competition, the fighting, even your own internal battles. Queen of Wands, she knows her self-worth. And that's really what this has been about, Capricorn, is you aligning to the value of you. And that's why I said that Queen of Pentacles, you could be incorporating some of that. And I think that's part of this, that build of confidence and courage, is you valuing you. You are your own biggest investment every single day. And there's a reality check that's coming in with that says, okay, Capricorn, you're worthy of this. Go do it. So I do think that a lot of the new soul family that's coming in for you are people who see that value and worth in you and understand the attributes and how you contribute to everything as a collective whole. And we've got a lot of that energy. It's not just about us. I mean, it's to work on us, but realizing that the work that we do on us has a ripple effect to everybody, the collective consciousness. Future energy of advice, grounding, as you deal with these emotions, and then Taurus season as well, impatience. Be patient with yourself. Capricorn, you guys tend to be a little hard on yourselves. Be patient with what you're doing and how you're moving through things. Rome was not built in a day. You know, the chariot didn't have his carriage just dropped off and delivered. It took time to be made. It didn't just magically appear with the wave of a wand. And I think the big thing here is just to make sure that these prying eyes, they don't have that direct connection to you anymore. They might try to kind of knock you off where you've gained this confidence and this courage to move on away from these situations. They may come in and try to, like, you know, they might say something. They might post something on social media. It's like they're trying to trigger you. If you feel those feelings coming back up of like, what the fuck? Ground yourself. Take that time off. Take that time away. That solitude, burn it. You know, the full moon is coming up. Write your letters to them or to yourself or whatever you're trying to release. Burn those suckers at this full moon. It's going to be an important emotional cleansing for you. Okay, Capricorn, I'm leaving it there. Thank you so much for viewing the channel. Like, share, subscribe, comment if you feel you got something good to say. I mean, I always enjoy reading the comments. And then personal reads are open and available, and that information can be found in the description box below, as well as the About section of the page. Wishing you guys the very best throughout the end of April, and I will see you soon.